There we go. All right. So how are we all doing? Hopefully we're excited. Hopefully we're prepped for a good workout. Pull up my interval timer here. Beauty. So we got another dope-ass session in store for you guys today. We're rocking some kettlebell work again. So if you have a kettlebell and you want to follow along, please do. Let me know how it goes. You can let me know in the chat, or if you're watching this on a replay on YouTube, you can let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to fire them off. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter as well, Words Way to Fitness, and at WW2Fitness on Twitter. There should be links in my Twitch profile for that, and I'll put some links into the description box on YouTube so you guys can find me there as well. As I said, today's workout is going to be all about the kettlebell. Probably looking at about 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere in that range to get everything done, depending on the length of time I spend explaining how each of the sections is going to work. We're going to be doing some complexes for our strength today, and we're going to do a little chipper style for our conditioning at the end. All right, so let's get excited. Our warm-up, we're going to keep with the 8-minute EMOMs. I'm really enjoying those to get the heart rate up and get us started. We're going to be starting with 40 seconds of cardio. So I'm going to do some jump rope for that. If you don't have a skipping rope and you want to do something else, you can do some high knees, so alternating knees up. Faster gets the heart rate up higher, but kind of like find a pace that's appropriate for you. You want to go butt kicks, that's fine. You want to do some burpees if you want to. I don't know why you would want to do that, but maybe you do. That's fine. It'll be 1 minute of anything that gets you moving and gets the heart rate up. That's the goal of that first exercise, all right? So exercise number 2, we're going to do ground to shoulder, okay? So we're not going overhead for this one today. So we bring that kettlebell right in between the feet. Nice strong posture, staying nice and tall. Bring that weight up to the shoulder, back to the floor, and repeat. And we are going to hit 15 to 20 of those, okay? So you pick a number that's reasonably challenging. You're looking at 30 to 40 seconds of work in that warm-up piece. It shouldn't be too hard. It's just, again, to get some blood flow and get you activating through some of the muscles that we will be using in today's workout, okay? Then, minute number 3, we're going to drop down to the floor. We're going to hit some mountain climbers with a twist. So push-up position, bring the knee across towards the opposite elbow, alternating sides. Keep that core nice and tight. You want to focus on trying to bring that knee over towards the opposite elbow, utilizing the core, getting that fired up so that it's ready for when we start hitting our complexes with the kettlebells in our strength piece for today. Okay? And then last, again, like 16 to 20 there, so 8 to 10 per leg is the goal. Okay? And then our last one is going to be Goblet Squats, 10 to 15, okay? Grabbing that dumbbell, picking it up, staying nice and tight through the core, dropping down to the bottom of that squat, push the floor away, and repeat. Okay? Again, 10 to 15, choose a number that's not too challenging, but again, gets those legs active and gets us ready for today's workout. All right, so 4 movements, cardio, minute number 1, that's a full minute cardio. Then we will hit ground to shoulder, and then mountain climber with a twist, and then goblet squats to wrap up our first 4 minutes, and then we'll cycle through those 4 all over again for our 8-minute warm-up. All right? Are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's do this. So, starting with our cardio. 3, 2, 1. 1 minute. Again, if you don't have any cardio equipment, you can always use some high knees, butt kickers, whatever. Make do with the equipment that you do have. So again, it's not about how many reps we can get done inside of this minute. It's just to get our heart rate up, get us moving. We start rocking today's workout. not expect that. 5 seconds left. So just set that aside. All right. And 15 to 20 ground to shoulder. So nice and tall. Bring that weight up to the chest, back to the floor, and repeat. Actually knocked my zone loose on that first rep. I lost my count. I do 4 more. That'd be pretty close to 20. All right. And then mountain climbers with a twist. 8 to 10 per leg. And 3, 2, 1. So focus on your core here. Good stuff. Was a little quicker than I thought I was going to be. Okay, 10 seconds. We hit some goblet squats. 10 to 15, depending on how heavy your weight is. If you're not feeling comfortable with the goblet, you can always go air squats instead. Focus on trying to get nice depth on those squats, keeping the core tight. Again, goal is just to get you activated and get you ready for today's workout, okay? Whew. 25 seconds. Then we'll cycle through these 4 again. How are we feeling out there? Should feel the heart racing just a little bit. Probably starting to get a little bit of a sweat. Excuse me. 3, 2, 1. Cardio. Oops. Whoa. Oops. The real trick, if you're skipping and making mistakes, is not to get down on yourself. Because that'll just make it harder to get back into the groove and get those reps done. All right. Nice work. Ground the shoulders. So again, strong posture. Nice and tall. All right. Nice work. What we got got mountain climbers with a twist next. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So again, focus on that core. Keep everything nice and tight as we rotate across towards the opposite side. Those are not to be underestimated. Definitely feel that heart rate up. Got a little sweat going myself. Hopefully you do too. It's part of the whole package with the warm-up. Hence the term warm-up. Should be making you warm. All right. 2, 1. Gobble squats. All right. Whew. All right. Nice work. So, 5 seconds left in that warm-up. Hopefully you're all done with those squats anyway. Solid work. So, we're going to be hitting some complexes here. We're going to do every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. So you're going to get 5 rounds per arm. And depending on how heavy your weight is, will determine how many reps of each movement that you're going to do. Okay, so if you've got a lighter weight, go with higher reps. If you've got a heavier weight, you can go with lighter reps. If you have a couple of weight choices, then you can alternate or go up with each round. So it gets a little bit heavier as we move through, but make sure that you can still keep the quality of the reps high as you work your way through the complexes. All right, so we're going to be hitting a couple of movements. Again, I would like to see about 3 to 5 reps of each movement for one arm inside of a minute. We're looking at like 30 to 45 seconds of work, so you get 15 to 30 seconds of rest, okay? Keep the quality as your primary target though. We want to make sure we're doing really, really good reps, not just getting a lot of reps, okay? So quality, execution over everything else. All right, so we're going to hit just a handful of movements here. We start with a single arm kettlebell swing. So feet should be about hip width apart. We're going to soften those knees, hinging from the hip. So we push the butt back. You're going to grab that bell. You want to hike it through and then drive it up with your hips, pulling it back through and repeat. Okay? So the focus is on the hips. We're going to drive glutes, hamstrings to bring that weight up. Okay? We're going to hit 3 to 5 of those. Okay? Then, without putting the weight down, you're going to move right into the next movement, hence the term complex. This is going to challenge your grip. It'll probably get your heart rate up. We're going to challenge your entire body with just these movements. Okay? So, once you finish your 5th swing, when you pull it back through, then we're going to move into a clean. Okay? So, a power clean specifically, so we don't need to drop down into the squat. We want to catch with the knees soft, and then swing it back through and catch again. So the key with the clean is to keep the kettlebell in nice and tight to the body, okay? So you thrust with the hips, pull, and then bring yourself underneath the bell. Now one trick I really like with the cleans is to point the thumb back when you're hiking the kettlebell through, so that when you pull, you're gonna move your arm around the bell instead of flipping the bell with the wrist, okay? So a lot of people complain with kettlebell work that it hurts their wrists, and it's because they're kind of like flipping the bell all the time. What you want to do is move your body around the bell and kind of like push your wrist into the bell as you catch it. That way you control the impact, right? So if you're pushing your wrist into the bell, instead of letting it smash into your wrist, you're gonna have a much better experience with those cleans, okay? Same's gonna hold true for your snatches, but we'll get to that, all right? So after your swings, we get into those cleans. So again, we're gonna hike, pull, semi-squat to catch, and you're gonna push it forward, pull it back through, and then bring it back into that clean position, okay? On your last clean, rather than bringing it back down, I want you to hold it up there in that front squat position, okay? And we're gonna hit 3 to 5 front squats, okay? It's gonna challenge the core a little bit, so make sure we stay nice and tight as you drop into that squat, okay? Staying tall, keeping the core, utilizing the quads to finish the movement. Then we've got 3 to 5 overhead press, okay? If you can go strict, great. If it's too heavy, use a little bit of body English, a little dip, drive, and bring that weight up, okay? Again, tight core, utilizing the shoulders as much as possible, and only utilizing the hips if we need to get that weight overhead, okay? So then our last one is kettlebell snatches, okay? So for that one, very similar to the clean. We want to keep the bell in nice and tight. We're gonna try to pull a lot higher though, okay? So basically you want to pull the bell as high as you can, and then semi-squat, pushing the wrist into the bell to catch. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. So we hike, keep it nice and tight, grab it. Okay, so you do want to try to drop the knees a little bit into the catch. Okay, that's what we call a power position. And again, pushing your wrist into the bell to catch that weight. Okay, so again, 3 to 5 of each. We're doing 10 minutes, so we get 5 rounds for each arm. Okay, so you have 1 minute to finish all of your reps on one side. Whatever's left of the minute will be your rest, and then we'll do the other side. So super easy, Depending on how heavy your weight is, will determine how many reps you should be doing. If you have a very heavy weight and you want to go maybe 2 reps of each movement, that's okay. If it's in that sweet spot, so generally for guys, I like that like 24 kilo, 50 pound range, and then for the girls, usually 35 or 16 kilos. So 35 pounds or 16 kilos is a pretty good weight. Depending on what you have available and what your experience with these movements is, you will need to adjust accordingly. But it is a very individual thing, so kind of feel it out for yourself. All right, so let me get my clock set back up here, 10 minutes. All right, beauty. And so, grab myself a little bit of a drink here before we get rolling again. You should have a little bit of time in this section to get yourself some fluids if you need them. Again, focus on the quality of your reps. Always focus on execution over trying to get more reps. So with that in mind, I'm actually going to start with 3 reps of each movement in my first minute, see how that feels, and maybe increase with each round as we move through. I'm not sure. It really depends on how much fatigue and how my lower back is feeling. I was having a little bit of lower back tension last week, and I've been trying to figure out what was wrong, and I think I fixed it, but it was probably a movement dysfunction, so we'll have to play it by ear and see how things are going. And then look with each round, so once I've done right and then left, then I might move it up to 4, see how that feels, and then if that's good, then move it up to 5 for the last few rounds. Or I might go 2 rounds at 3, 2 rounds at 4, and 1 at 5. Really depends. The last round should be your most challenging one though, so feel free to keep escalating the intensity as we work our way through this particular EMOM. All right, so execution is still your goal though. All right, are you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's get this show rolling. 5 seconds. I'm going to start with the right arm. 3 swings. So hike, drive that bell up with the hips, pull it through, up with the hips, pull it through, and into those cleans. And squats. And then snatches. Nice work. Timing wise, that was pretty good. So 10 seconds, and we'll do the left arm. Same thing, swings, cleans, squats, presses, snatches. All right, 2, 1, here we go. And snatches. There we go. Throw a little chalk on here. So I felt that bell starting to slip a little bit. So my preference is for the dry chalk, but all I've got is the liquid. So make do with what you got. If you don't have any, be careful not to let go of that bell. All right, let's take it up to 4 this time. Oh, squats. So, that was pretty good. That 5 rep set will definitely need to be fast if you're going to be hitting it. Back on that left arm. Ooh. We got 15 seconds till we're back on that right arm. It's definitely getting my heart racing. All right. We're gonna do another round of 4. Good stuff. How are we feeling out there? Heart should be racing. It's all about trying to get back control. All right, left arm, here we go. right. That's 3 for each arm so far. Nice work, nice work. We got 2 more for each arm, and then we're done with our strength section. Whew. All right, good stuff. Definitely gonna go for 5 in the last round. Whew. All right. So 1 more for each arm, and we're done. We got about 10 seconds till that last round. All right, let's go. Whew. And then left arm, and we're done. Okay. Whew. And there we go. Nice work. I am definitely feeling that one right now. Whew. I'm glad I didn't switch into the 5 reps too soon. Definitely would not have been enough recovery time to keep the quality up as I work through those sets. Sometimes it's better to play it smart, try to work within the limitations that you have, than to try to break those limitations and hope for the best. It's good to push yourself, but you got to know how far you can push before you're sacrificing quality. That's the hardest part when doing metabolic work in combination with strength work, like these complexes. So, like each of these movements, I could probably do quite a few more reps if I were giving myself more rest in between. But with the complex, you don't have that luxury, especially if you're on a time crunch, artificial or not. Working within constraints can really change how a workout feels. The harder we work, more calories we burn, more results we get, right? Assuming fat loss is the goal. If you want to get bigger, you want to get stronger. This type of training is not ideal for that. It will still help, but it's not your best choice for building muscle or gaining strength, right? This is more about calorie burn and metabolic efficiency, which can help you build muscle. As I said, like if you're building out a program for yourself, the smartest thing you can do is utilize a variety of different techniques to maximize muscle activation. So you work with heavy weight, you work with a moderate weight, and then you work with lighter weight. And you're varying the rep schemes to maximize growth potential. That's the smartest thing you can do when trying to get as big as possible. I did that years ago, and I'm not really interested in getting any bigger. Pretty happy with that. I wouldn't mind getting stronger, but right now we're locked down here in Nova Scotia, so we can't really do any like true strength workouts. So I'm working more on that metabolic efficiency, thinking about like making this a dedicated fat loss phase instead. I'm gonna shift the diet to suit that, but I don't know how much longer we're gonna be in this lockdown, so I don't know if that's the goal I want to start working on or not. Right now we're kind of in limbo with the goal setting, so the workouts are more just to maintain my mental sanity right now, for me at least. So, got a heavy sweat going. I like it. How are we doing? Nice. 482 calories burned so far for this guy. My zone letting me know that I'm working hard. Saw a lot of red there. You don't want to spend a lot of workouts in the red, but it's nice to get up into that heart rate zone every once in a while, assuming that you can control the heart rate enough, right? So making sure that we're able to recover from the work that we're doing. In case you're not familiar with the My Zone system, red zone is like 90 to 100% of heart rate max, right? Yellow is 80 to 90, and then green is 70 to 80, blue is that 60 to 70, and then gray is your 50 to 60. And then My Zone gives you points based on the intensity of the workout that you're doing, okay? So, pretty cool. All right. So, as I mentioned at the start, that was our strength complexes. We're gonna hit a chipper for our workout today. It is not gonna be, it's not gonna be easy. Let's put it that way, all right? So, we're definitely going to get that heart rate up. We're gonna challenge a lot of different parts of the body as we work our way through. So, a chipper means that you have to finish all of your reps of one exercise before you move into the next exercise, okay? So, we're gonna work with 5 exercises again. Exercise number 1 is a 2-hand kettlebell swing, and we're gonna do 100 reps, okay? Yes, I said that right, 100 reps, okay? So, if you need to break that into smaller sets, that's fine, but you can't move on to your next exercise until you finish the first exercise. So, 100 swings. I'm gonna keep my 50-pounder here. That is the weight I would recommend for most guys. 35 pounds is the weight I would recommend for most girls. Again, your fitness level can change where you're at. What equipment you have available can change where you're at with that as well. Okay, but 100 swings. So basically we want those feet about hip width apart. We're gonna hinge from the hip, grab that bell, hike it through, drive it up with the hips, pull it back through, drive it up with the hips again, okay? Try to get the kettlebell to be about level with the eyes so we can standardize the movement across the board, but make sure we're utilizing strong hips and letting that bell float a little bit and then pull it back through and hike it back up again. So you can go with a softer style of kettlebell swing here. I'll often advise people to use the harder style, but with 100 reps, you probably don't want to go with a hard style kettlebell swing because it's going to jack your heart rate up and make it very, very challenging for you to get through. Okay, so that's exercise number 1. Then we're gonna hit 80 air squats. Okay, so feet about hip width apart. Just take a seat, drive the floor away, stand it back up. Again, you may need to take that in smaller sets, right? If you can and you want to bust out a set of 80 consecutive, feel free, it's your call. Definitely not going to stop you, all right? So after those 80 squats, then we're going to do 60 ground to overhead. Okay, so remember the warm-up, we did ground to shoulder. This time we're going to do ground to overhead. So we grab that bell, bring it up to the chest, press it up overhead, bring it back to the floor. Keep that core tight, try and stay nice and tall. Again, you'll probably need to break that into smaller sets in order to get those reps done, but that's the name of the game here, okay? So then we are gonna move into 40, what do I put, ballistic rows, I guess you could call them. So we're doing 20 per arm. So we're gonna pull, and then on the way back down, you wanna switch hands. So you're grabbing with the other hand and pulling hard to the other side, and then switch, okay? So it's 20 per hand for 40 total. You wanna stay nice and tight here, okay? And then you're gonna pull up, drop it into the other hand as it comes down, okay? So you're gonna have to slow that weight down, keeping everything nice and tight, and then pull it up hard, dropping it down to grab with the other hand once again, okay? So 40, 20 per side for the total there, and then we're gonna hit 20, oh God, burpees. So I hate burpees, but I make myself do them because it's good for me to do stuff that I hate sometimes. So all in all, I would like to see this be like 15 to 20 minutes tops, okay? Try and set a really good pace, move as quickly as you can. If you can break 15 minutes, amazing. If you can break 10 minutes, that is just unreal. Very, very fast paced to break 10 minutes here. This is a lot of work to get done, all right? Particularly if you have a heavy weight. If you have a lighter weight, you will probably be able to do this faster. The weight needs to be challenging to really push you up into that higher echelon of timing here. There's no time cap. Actually, there's a 20-minute time cap. All right, I'm gonna make that an artificial limit for myself. I'm probably gonna break that limit, we'll have the timer going for 20 minutes, and then I'll talk through whatever is left at the end. I might do some stretching inside of that 20-minute block if I have enough time. I'll answer questions and that kind of thing if you guys are live in the chat and you've got anything you'd like to ask. All right, so let's swap back to this watch, and we want to count down 20 minutes. All right, so are we ready to rock and roll? This is gonna be a rough 20 minutes. It's certainly not gonna be an easy 20 minutes, I can guarantee that. So the best thing that you can do here is to take mini sets if you need them to make sure that you're not utilizing too much time for recovery, okay? So the trick with a workout like this is not to try to tackle the largest sets possible. It's to tackle the largest sets possible while minimizing recovery, okay? So you wanna make sure you're working hard, but not so hard that you're standing here sucking wind, holding onto your legs, or laying on the floor wondering why this is so hard, okay? You want to make sure that you are going at a pace that you're able to maintain. If you've got a my zone, watching the my zone, trying to keep it in that 80 to 90% range so that the heart rate's not getting too high, forcing you to have to stop to recover, but high enough that you're able to keep yourself moving and generating a lot of fatigue at the same time. So this is all about fatigue management here, okay? So 20-minute time cap. We've got kettlebell swings, air squats, ground to overhead, ballistic rows, and then burpees to finish it off. 180, 60, 40, 20, all right? Whew. I'm not looking forward to this right now. Are you gonna count down? Because I would kind of like to know what my time was. I might have to do some math. Yeah, I'm gonna change that to a stopwatch instead. Okay. Stopwatch will let me know how long I have been going. instead of a countdown. Oh. I cannot read that. I am not sure what language that is, but I do not speak it. All right. So 20-minute time cap, 100 swings, 80 air squats, 60 ground overhead, 40 ballistic rows, 20 per arm, and then 20 burpees to finish it off. All right, I'm ready. Let's get this show on the road. 20 minutes, here we go. Feeling that grip. Just definitely gonna take a quick break. Thank you for the luck. I wasn't sure how those forearms were going to feel after those complexes, but they definitely took a bit of a beating today, I guess. On a good day, I can finish 100 straight. Kettlebell swings. Nope. All right, we're at 65, so we got 35 reps to go. Whew. All right, 20 reps. Forearms are on fire. I love it. It's way more of a mental battle right now than a physical one. Although both are definitely being challenged. All right, air squats. 80 is going to be a lot. 20 down, 60 to go. No big deal. Whew. Halfway through those squats. The hardest part of chippers is just that mental side. Just having to fight to keep going. You're fatigued. If I could alternate through exercises, I could definitely pump out a lot more work, but it would change the challenge as well. So it's a fine line to walk, right? Sometimes you need to fight the mental battle to go with that physical one. We got 20 left. I have 20 left. I don't know about you guys. If you're following along, keep plugging away. Remember, slow movement is usually better than no movement at all. So limit how much time you're spending standing around, even if it means slowing the reps down a little bit, just to keep yourself moving. It's okay. 9 reps. Okay, squats are done. Whew. All right. Ground overhead. This one's going to be slow, I can tell. Grab a drink here. All right, keep that core tight when you're in these ground overhead. So, I'm starting to feel my lower back a little bit, which means I know that I'm not keeping my core as tight as I need to. Pretty common as we get fatigued to start losing the integrity of the movement. So really make sure you're keeping everything tight. Pay attention to what your body's doing. Make sure you're still moving with the best quality that you can. 10 minutes deep. Whew. I'm feeling it now, ladies and gents, halfway through these ground overheads. Heart rate is racing. Okay, 20 left. I figured this was going to be the hardest part of this. But still did not expect this level of challenge from them. Oh man, chippers are rough. All right, final 10. Here we go. Rows and burpees. I need some more chalk. right off. You can feel the sweat in my hands, but it had me very likely letting go of the bell during these rows. Okay. All right. Halfway there. Oh man. And burpees. Okay. Okay. 14. Oh jeez. Oh fuck it. Oh my god. Okay. Wow. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So it was 19 minutes for me. I definitely did not properly account for the fatigue I was experiencing from the first half of the workout. And my prediction for myself here.
That's probably your 20 minutes there. Yeah. That's a wrap on today's workout. I'm very close to 1,000 calories there burned for today's workout. Pretty happy with that. Certainly not going to complain, that's for sure. Oh, wow. That's going to take me a little while to recover from. I'm sure you guys are probably feeling the same if you were following along. If not, give this a go another day. I'm going to post this recording to YouTube so you can watch it, follow along with the workout anytime you like. Maybe you don't want to do the first piece, maybe you just want to do the second piece. That's cool. Feel free. Take the workouts and do them as is appropriate for you. Maybe that 20-minute block's all you need. Maybe you don't need the 10-minute strength block as well. If you're feeling good and you want to push your body a little bit further, feel free to do both. Don't forget your warm-up. Always get the warm-up done. Either way, you want to make sure you're physically prepped for the workout before you get into it. So don't just jump willy-nilly into stuff like this. That's a recipe for disaster. So definitely make sure you're properly warmed up and ready for the workout for the day before you jump in. All right. Oh. Heart rate's starting to come back down now. Feeling a little bit better. Oh. So as I said at the start, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to fire them off. You can find me on Instagram at Wardsweight Fitness, on Twitter at WW2Fitness. I'm on YouTube, again, Wardsweight Fitness. And you'll find a few weeks worth of workouts up there right now. So there's lots of them you can follow along with. I try to stream every day. I'm going to start trying to do it at 5:30 for the next little while. So 5:30 my time, so that's Atlantic. For the next few weeks, just to build some consistency into the schedule while we're locked down. There's no reason I can't do that. So we'll make that a reality. And once I'm allowed to get out into public and train at gyms again, we'll change the schedule to suit that. But figure that out when we get there. Yeah, so feel free to DM me, want to @ me somewhere, feel free, fire off questions. If you do this workout, you take a video, tag me, post it to Instagram, Twitter, whatever. All right, let me know how you did, and yeah, best of luck, and I'll be back tomorrow at 5:30 again, all right? So, just have yourselves a great night.